Do you want to know how I shop online? In today's video, I will be sharing with you my best tips for buying clothes online. Hello Spooky Bats and welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, hi and welcome. My name is Orphea and I'm a goth girl from Belgium. In today's video, I want to talk about online shopping because it's something that I have personally done a lot more recently, or at least the past few years, than I did before. However, online shopping can sometimes be tricky. You can fall into the rabbit hole of these massive websites that have a very big offer and you can get very confused with sizing, etc. So in this video, I want to share with you the tips and tricks that I personally use when shopping online, and also how you can avoid to buy things you don't end up liking. So let's get started. The first tip that I want to give you is to know what you want. And there's actually two ways that I do this. The first one is to literally take out a piece of paper and write down the things I want. After that, I will go onto Pinterest and I will start typing in those words and pinning everything to a want to buy board. Often you can already find direct links to clothing websites that sell items, but for me this is always a good starting point. On that list, I also mark the things that I really want and why I want them, how I want the fit to be, etc. So if I want, for example, black pants, I will not just write down black pants. I will write down that I do not want skinny pants. I need them to be long enough. I need them to be big enough, so I will write down the sizing info that I need, so that when I get onto websites where I want to buy something, I can very quickly identify what I want, find it, and buy it if it is the price that I want to pay for it. And that's also something that I often like to do, is I like to write down what I am willing to spend on an item, and I will not go over that amount. So if we go back at black pants, let's say, if I want to buy a pair of black pants, I will write down that I will not spend more than 50 euros on one pair of pants. For example, you could also write down that if you want a dress, that you want different styles of dresses and that you want to get at least one black dress, one red dress, etc. So this should be very personalized to you, to what you want to buy and what you are looking forward to finding online. So the first tip is know what you want and just make it easy for yourself to find what you want. Tip number 2, and this is possibly the most important tip, is to get a tape measure and measure yourself. If you want to buy clothing online, you need to be able to tell if you will fit a certain size or not. Most clothing websites nowadays have a size chart available. If they don't, I would highly recommend contacting customer service to get measurements, because I really hate buying things that I will not know if they will fit me. So I will always measure myself and then see what size I need. If I'm in between sizes, I will look at the type of fabrics that are used and at the return policy. If it's a stretchy fabric, I might size down. If there is a very good return policy, then I might order the 2 sizes that I'm in between, so I can figure out while trying them on which one I like best. So this already comes with the next tip, and it is to check the fabric. There's a few types of fabric that have no stretch. For example, linen, cotton, they don't have any stretch to them. However, if you combine them with polyester type fabrics such as elastane, then they will have stretch to them. So be very mindful of the fabrics that are used in clothing, because they will also affect the way that they will sit on your body, stretch or not stretch. And if you're not sure what a fabric is, Google it. Google is your best resource to find out what a specific type of fabric is and also what its properties are. I am not an expert on clothing. I don't make clothing. I don't know every single fabric that exists. However, I know how to use Google. So every time I see fabrics listed and I don't know what they are, I will simply Google them to know what I am buying. The next tip is to look at the sizing, and especially the sizes that the models on the website are wearing. If you are buying something from a website that has no pictures of someone wearing the actual garment, I would be very suspicious, and I would personally not order those pieces of clothing. Also look at the model. You can often see the model's height, the size they are wearing, etc. So you can already see how it fits on a certain body type. You can always tell that models, or most of the time at least, if you look at regular websites, they have more of a square body. So they don't really have much of a waist, they don't have much of bust going on. They don't have many hips most of the time either. So those models are very square looking if you look at regular websites. However, what I see is often in plus size websites, the models tend to be very curvy. So just look at the model, look at how the garment fits her, and then identify with your own body shape if this would be a good fit for you. Also, know that most models are a size 0 more or less, so they tend to wear a size extra small to small. If a model on a website that looks tiny to you wears a size medium, then you know that the garment fits very small. The next step is to ask yourself, do I already own this? And this is where my checklist comes in very handy. Often I am looking at very pretty things online, for example, flowy maxi dresses and skirts, and then if I look at an item that I really like, I will first ask myself the question, do I already own this or something similar to this? Do I really need an extra black maxi skirt? Do I really need an extra black maxi dress? Most of the time the answer is no. But because I really love this type of clothing, I am often attracted to it. Tip number 5 is to check similar sites. You can often find clothing from the brand themselves on their own website. However, you can often also find them on websites here in Belgium, for example, Zalando. And often the price points will be different from website to website. So what I would recommend is, if you like something, if it is a brand item or even if it's not, to simply Google it and find out if it is available on other trusted websites as well for sale at maybe a lower price point. Talking about price, I always look at deals. For example, if there's sales going on, if there's a 2+1, etc. However, don't let this trick you into buying more than you actually need. The 2+1, if you only need one t-shirt, I don't think it's worth it to find a second and a third t-shirt just for the sake of getting a promotion, because you will in the end pay more than you would have if you only ordered one t-shirt. This also goes for free shipping. Often I'm on websites and I want to buy one item. However, if I buy for 50 euros extra, if something is 50 euros, for example, I get free shipping. The shipping is often 2.99 euros or 5 euros or what have you. Is it worth to me getting an extra garment that I possibly will not wear, or just to pay for shipping? I nowadays choose actively to pay for shipping instead of augmenting my order and ordering more things than I actually need. Again, this goes with the next tip, and it is to look for discounts. And I personally use an app for this. This video is not sponsored. I was not contacted by them. I just actively use this, and it is called Honey. Honey is something that I have installed into Google Chrome. It is an application that you see in the top corner of your screen when using it. And when you go to the checkout of an online store, it will immediately tell you if there's discount codes or not and search for the best one. This has saved me $10 to $20 to $50 sometimes on my orders. Last time I ordered from Zalando, I did not have a personal coupon code available. However, Honey found me one for 20% discount on my entire order. Let me tell you, if you're buying Dr. Martens shoes, you really want a discount, because on 150 euros, 20% really adds up. Up next is to look at the shipping and return policies. First of all, the shipping, if it's not free, you should know the price of shipping and also of the return policy. Do you have to pay yourself for returns? Are returns free, etc.? This is something that I personally find very important, and websites need to have this listed on their site. If you cannot find out the shipping costs anywhere or the return policy, I would not purchase on a particular website. And depending on how the return policy works, I would sometimes often also buy 2 sizes of the same item if I'm in between sizes, if the returns are free. If you have to pay for returns, I am often a lot more cautious about what I buy, the size I get, and the measurements, etc. So I personally look at the return policy and then decide if I want to order an item in 2 sizes or if I want extra measurements, etc. The next tip is a safety tip. Did you know that if you go to a website and it says HTTPS, that the S actually stands for secure? I think this is something very important to know when shopping online, to know if the website that you're looking on is actually a real website. What I also would recommend for online purchases is to use a safe payment method. I personally like to use PayPal because if something goes wrong with PayPal, you can always get your money back if your item doesn't arrive, if the item is faulty, if it is a scam website. PayPal has a very good safety net for purchases online. So I personally use PayPal most often when buying clothes online, and I could highly recommend it to you as well. Following up with this is to shop on websites that you know, and if you don't know a website, look up reviews. I would always recommend to have a good critical look at a website. If it seems too good to be true, it most of the time is. Dropshipping websites also exist, so if you're buying something from the UK and the shipping time is 2 to 3 weeks, then you know it is a dropshipping website. Or handmade, of course that has to be listed as well. But if it's not handmade and it says 2 to 3 weeks shipping time, then you know it is a drop shipping website. So basically a website that purchases items from China and then resells them at a higher price in Europe. What I would also recommend if for certain pieces of clothing you don't know how it will fit, if it's a well-known brand, is to look up reviews. For example, if you're looking to buy a pair of Dr. Martens, I would highly recommend looking up on YouTube, for example, reviews of said pair of Dr. Martens, because people like me spend their time making reviews about more expensive pieces of clothing and giving you advice on the sizing, how it fits, pros and cons, etc. So I personally think it's very valuable to look up reviews of the pieces of clothing that you're interested in purchasing. Before we end this video, I want to quickly recap on my most important tip. Beware of deals. Because deals most of the time aren't really deals for you. It's just for the company to make more income off of you. 2+1. Free shipping if you order above a certain amount. Those are all tricks into getting you to spend more money. So I would personally just stick to the list of items that I need, that I want, and then I will purchase them. And I am personally not an impulse shopper. So another thing that I personally do, but that I don't know if it will apply to you, is that I save everything into a big wish list. And I will check again that wish list every single week to see if I still want the items, and I will remove the things that I no longer want. And then after 2 weeks or to a month, depends on when I get paid, etc., then I will purchase the items and not on the day that I was looking them up. This also avoids impulse purchases, and it also avoids me paying too much for an item simply because I want it. Because if you wait 2 weeks, you can already see if the prices have increased, if there is a sale, etc. Often you can also get discounts if you are on a newsletter, etc. However, I prefer using the Honey app because it often gives me better discounts than that. I hope these tips for buying clothes online help you with your next clothing purchases. Should you still have any questions at all, feel free to ask them in the comment section below. Also, feel free to share with me your favorite tips for shopping online, especially for clothing, because I would love to know if you have any other tips for me. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I make weekly videos and I would love to have you for every single one of them. Before I end this video, I want to quickly thank my patrons, Jerry and Jen. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. It means the world to me. And of course, to each and every one of you, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week with a new video. Bye!